I was always told to be early, so I am early today. As I said, we're going to start at 9:45. Currently 9:43, but halftime started in the game. I wanted to get this thing going, so let's get this thing started. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button as we go live every Thursday, halftime of the Thursday Night Football game. Hope you're all enjoying the New Orleans Saints versus the Dallas Cowboys. Who would have seen the Dallas Cowboys shutting them out in the first half? I didn't think that was going to happen, but that has happened now. So as we go into halftime with the score, Dallas 13, New Orleans 0. And also, I am listening. You might be wondering, hey, why do you have your headset in, Joe? You're not talking to him. There's no collabs going on here. I am listening to our Buffalo Sabres, tied currently with the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-4, as we go to break the franchise record for longest winning streak. We're currently at 10 games, going for 11. Something exciting happens on here. You'll probably find out about it, whether you want to or not. But what we're here for is to preview this Sunday's game as the Buffalo Bills keep rolling along. No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, as they've won 2 straight and they go into Miami. Must be rough to be a Buffalo Bills player at this time. December starts and you have to go down to Miami. Oh, rough, right? Rough. But they go down to Miami to face the division rival Miami Dolphins. Now, many of you don't know this about me. I have always felt as though the Dolphins were our bigger rival, not the New England Patriots. I know a lot of you might think that currently the Patriots are... My chat's disconnected. Why is my chat disconnected? Oh, now it's back. Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are joining me. If you haven't, again, my name is Joe. Please hit that subscribe button. Helps out the channel a lot. Hit that like button. Like this video. We're going to be very animated today. If you were here Monday, you know I wasn't that animated. That was just because my throat was off still. Went to the Sunday game against the Jaguars. Was a great time. I will have some video out of that game sooner rather than later. Hopefully, I do have some pictures on here. Might do a new celebration. Oh, I got a message for review. Why are they reviewing everything? I don't know what's going on. Mike, welcome to Believers Talk. Thank you for the subscription. I will definitely be checking out your channel after I'm done here. That's very cool. Interesting. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on it, I guess, and that's why they didn't let it go through the first time. But it's through now. So again, thank you. Again, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, currently hitting 9:45. We did start a little early, but I haven't done anything yet. Hey, let's squish those fish. Welcome, Daniel Jones. Thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. Yeah, we'll talk about this game a little bit. Lots going on right now. Again, I'm watching the Saints game currently halftime, listening to the Sabres game. Hear a lot of booing going on. I'm not good at doing 2 things at once, so a lot of things are probably happening in my ear that I'm not even listening to. But right now it's 4-4. That's all I need to know. But let's look at this Sunday's matchup as the Buffalo Bills go up against the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo Bills 4-7, Miami Dolphins 5-6. Both teams have slim playoff hopes. Obviously, Miami 5-6, looking a little bit better. But Miami started 3-0. We got to remember that. Miami started 3-0, looking like they might have a chance to beat the Patriots. Week 4, they go play New England in New England, and they just don't show up. I don't know what happened with that team, but they were looking good up until that game. Once that game happened, Big Brother New England Patriots definitely showed up and showed them who was still boss. And even though the Patriots were 1-2 at the time, definitely started turning their season around at that point as well. So that didn't work out so well. Ever since then, the season's kind of been up and down for the Miami Dolphins, currently sitting at 5-6. Tannehill was out for a little bit, of course, so they've had that issue again as well. Tannehill has had a few injuries in his career, of course. Some people would say 2. I'm talking about TD Finn's fan. I watched his live stream. Some would say 3. The ACL injury to his knee, that happened in back-to-back seasons. It was pretty much the same injury, so I understand what Finn's fan was saying there. But, you know, he did miss almost a season and a half due to that injury, so it definitely took a little bit longer. But let's look at the stats going into this game. Both teams not looking that great in offense. Both teams kind of relying on their defense a little bit. However, Buffalo's defense is a lot better as far as yards allowed is concerned than the Dolphins. However, you look at those turnover numbers, Miami is doing really well at getting turnovers, one of the top 5 in the league right now, so that's something we'll have to watch out for. We'll get to my 3 keys to victory going into this game on Sunday, and then I'll let you guys go so you can watch the second half. If we have any questions, any chatting going on, obviously I'll stick on here for a little bit longer. Might interrupt you with a goal or something like that. If that happens, of course, very excited for our Buffalo Sabres too, and our Bills 2-game winning streak. Josh Allen is now 3-2 in games that he has started and finished. Even though the numbers wouldn't represent something great, he does have 5 rushing touchdowns this year, which is actually the most among quarterbacks in the NFL at this point. So actually, I think it's 6. So, but yeah, some hopes to believe we'll be in second by night. Yeah, I mean by Sunday night, if we beat the Dolphins, we're second in the division. Now, there are a lot of teams we have to pass, and Sunday before the game starts, I mean, I'll go over some of the scenarios that Buffalo fans should be rooting for. I did see something on Pro Football Focus, that even if the Bills win out, they beat the Patriots in New England, they beat the Dolphins twice, they beat the Jets, they beat the Lions, we still only have a 40% chance to make the playoffs. So if we win every single one of our games, we need things to go our way already for that to happen. You know what? We've been in tough spots before. You look at last year with about 2 minutes left to go in that Cincinnati game. It wasn't looking that great for us either. However, something happened. Boyd stepped up, got us that touchdown. We made it to the playoffs. So anything can happen in the NFL. Might as well keep winning while we can, right? Keep building on this momentum. Josh Allen's looking good. We got, he's making some good throws, some poor throws we saw. Brian Dable might have a quarterback they can work with for more than 2 games before an injury or a substitution or something like that. So we'll see if our offense can improve. I'm looking forward to a lot of those things, as our offense has looked to improve the past 2 weeks. Past 2 games, I should say. We put up 42 points against Jacksonville, or 24 points against Jacksonville. We put up 41 points against the Jets. That's impressive. So hopefully we can continue with that trend upwards, as we still rank 31st overall in offense. We want to continue to move up going into next season. That might help us see players on offense we can get rid of and players on offense we really want to keep. We did talk about Zay Jones not having a single catch last week after having, I think, 7 the week before, or the game before against the Jets. I still think he's going to come on strong. I think there's going to be a connection between him and Josh Allen. They just need to get in rhythm. We did see a lot of great blocking downfield by Zay Jones, and I think wide receiver blocking downfield is something that's a lot of times under talked about by people like myself and media and things of that nature. So that's something we have to look forward to. But I do think in this game against the Dolphins, we do have a good chance to pass the ball. Okay, we have a great chance to pass the ball. Let's start with that defensive side of the ball. Let's look at some stats for you so you know what we're working with here. So Miami's defense, like I said, one of the worst in the league as far as yards allowed. They're actually 29th in yards allowed in the NFL. They're allowing 398 yards per game. They're allowing 258 passing yards, which is 21st in the league, and they're allowing 139.8 rushing yards a game, which is 29th in the league. Might mean we need to see something from McCoy, Ivory, and Murphy. We did not see a lot from them in the win against Jacksonville. Our leading rusher was Josh Allen with 99 yards. I would love to see McCoy get 99 to 100 yards. Get him that second game over 100 yards. Chris Ivory, want to see him get the ball more. And again, I still wish we would use Marcus Murphy more. See what we have behind McCoy, with next year being McCoy's last year on contract. So that's the defense for the Miami Dolphins by the yards per game, at least. Like I said, they are kicking butt in the turnover margin, currently having 15 interceptions, 17 sacks. So it's kind of crazy. 15 receptions. I think that's second in the league, only behind the Chicago Bears. Xavier Howard has 5 interceptions. He's actually tied with Matt Milano for the most turnovers by an individual player in the NFL, both having 6. So, that's going to be a matchup to watch as well, as far as which one of our wide receivers line up against Xavier Howard, who's having a really good year for the Miami Dolphins as far as getting turnovers. Again, the yards allowed, you kind of got to take that into account too. You got to kind of take everything into account here with this defense, which is ranked 29th. As far as the Buffalo Bills defense, we know how it is. We've seen them play second in the league right now in total yards allowed, only allowing 305 yards per game. And then passing 193, number one in passing, 111.3 rushing yards. That has us at 15th overall in the league. But again, the number two defense according to yards per game. Obviously, you look at the stats as far as points. I think we're ranked 17th in points allowed per game. A lot of that has to do with our offense, guys. We know that. But this is not the same offense that was playing week 1 against Baltimore. This is not the same offense that was playing against Houston, allowing pick sixes. I don't want to mention any names, but he's currently not on the team anymore, and he was the quarterback for the starter to start the season. I mean, I don't want to mention his name, but we know who it is. And then you talk about Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson is a savvy veteran, but you also see he was on our team for 12 days when he was thrown into the game. So and you can't always win that way. I know Matt Barkley did it, right? But Matt Barkley didn't play impressively. He just didn't turn the ball over, which maybe is impressive enough. But this is definitely a different offense that we have today than we had, all these weeks up until a few weeks ago when we got Josh Allen back. So last week when we got Josh Allen back. And Josh Allen's just going to continue to improve as long as he continues to learn Dable's system, and they give rapport. He gets a rapport with the wide receivers like Zay Jones and Robert Foster, who's coming on strong. Isaiah McKenzie. We're loving Isaiah McKenzie. The wide receivers that are willing to work with him pregame, before game starts, on getting routes down. Unlike some whiny crybaby number one wide receivers that we currently have on our team. I don't, again, want to mention any names, but I think you know who I'm talking about. When a rookie quarterback comes up to you and says that, hey, do you want to practice some routes before the game starts, and you say no, I still think we should have got rid of the guy. I still think we should get rid of the guy. Make a statement. You work with your rookie quarterback when you get the chance to. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what you're thinking, saying, no, we're good. No, we're good. We're good. I need to do my jogging exercises because I don't want to cramp up. I don't care if you cramp up. Cramp up. Get off the field. Please. Let's see if Aaron McLeod can do something. Let's see if Robert Foster, we already seen Robert Foster do something, okay? Let's see if we can get Isaiah McKenzie to do something. We have a lot of other young receivers ready to step up that you're just wasting time for. In fact, what I heard was Zay Jones actually had led wide receivers in time played last game. And we have seen Kelvin Benjamin's percentage of plays gone down in a game. Okay, so last week I think he was only in for about 60% play, something like 50% play, something like that. So as he keeps going down, that's telling us something. That's saying, hey, guess what? The coaching staff sees it too. The coaching staff sees lack of effort. The coaching staff sees lack of production. And these things are going to hurt him, and that's why we're not going to re-sign him come next season. I think if we re-sign Kelvin Benjamin, you might have a mutiny on your hands. I really do. He's the biggest, he makes me madder at this point in the season than Vontae Davis did. If you remember what Vontae Davis did, quitting on us, retiring mid-game, what he is doing, what Kelvin Benjamin is doing is just the way he's not showing up for your game. I mean, if you're not going to show up at every game, you might as well do what Vontae Davis did and just retire. You might as well. Because you're not doing us any good. You're not benefiting us by staying on that field. And I want players who want to play. I want players that want to win. I want players that are going to give 100% every single down. Kenneth Osborne, welcome to Believe Talk. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button. I know Kenneth Osborne. I know Dan Jones. I know you guys aren't new. You've been here before. You know how this is. We go live every Sunday. We give you the live play-by-play and reaction for every single Buffalo Bills game. Not just the home games, the away games too. We're on the road this Sunday. I'll be watching the game, letting you guys know what's going on as it happens. Every Monday, then, we give you a post-game wrap-up. We let you know what we saw, the good. We have a lot of good that we went over this past Monday in that win against Jacksonville Jaguars. The bad. We had a lot of bad that happened in that win against the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday that we went over on Monday as well. And some of that ugly that we talk about sometimes. Some things that just don't look right. But we'll talk about those as well. Also try to give you transaction news. This week, we actually released Colton Schmidt. Got a new punter on our team. This will be the first week with him on the team. Looking forward to see what he does. Help us out. I think Monday I talked about how Colton Schmidt actually looked a little bit better than he has the past couple weeks. Apparently the coaching staff didn't think so. Cut him. Signed a new punter to our team after, I really wish we should have Jorge's on our team. I thought he was having a good year, but he was just punting it 20 times a game, so he got hurt. So we'll see what happens as this goes on. As the game is back for the third quarter, so I'll try to wrap things up here. It's funny how our D always outshines the offense. I'd love a high-scoring offense like we did in the 90s era. You look at that 90s team, I'll even tell you this. The 90s team, our offense was awesome. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Don Beebe, James Lofton, name them, keep going, right? Our defense still outshined our offense most of the time. I mean, I loved the Kelly gun. I loved it all. But you look at Bruce Smith, Phil Hansen, Maddox. You have so many good players on that defensive line, that defensive seven. Even the secondary, you talk about Nate Clemens, you talk about some of those guys. Man, it was fun to watch them. It was fun to watch that whole team. That was one of the best teams, I would say, in NFL history. I know we did not win a Super Bowl. I get that. But, I mean, we're definitely the best team, I think, to never win a Super Bowl. I don't know if that counts for anything. I don't think it does. Just for words. But I still think our defense maybe even outshined our offense even back then. But it's tough to say. It's really tough to say. But yeah, I would love to see an offense. I would love to see Josh Allen to be the next Jim Kelly and us to kind of get tools around him and be able to keep him for 15, 20 years and watch this offense continue to grow. Because we know our defense is going to be good because like you pointed out, for the past few years, our defense has pretty much always been good except for under Rex Ryan. Except for the great defensive guru, Rex Ryan. Right? But even before Rex Ryan, when we had Doug Marrone here and we had Jim Schwartz here, our defense was awesome. Our defense was awesome. Went from 4-3 to a 3-4 with Rex Ryan. What happened? 17th. 15th. Yeah. Thank you, defensive guru. Get Sean McDermott back. 2 seasons, we're in second. With the second best defense as of week 13, fighting for that number 1 spot. I think we're fighting for number 1 with Baltimore. I'm not 100% sure. Some of you guys might be able to help me out with that. But that's neither here nor there. So now we need to get to our 3 keys to victory. Joe, what do the Bills need to do to win this game? We're coming in hot. 2-game winning streak. Miami's coming reeling in a little bit. 2-game losing streak. I'm sorry, something exciting is happening over here, so I'm getting a little excited. But 2-game losing streak for the Dolphins. So what do the Bills have to do to keep winning? All right, so 1. Turnovers, okay? We know how bad we are at the turnover differential. With our 2 turnovers in that Jacksonville game, we are currently at, I'm trying to remember if there was a fumble in that game. I don't think there was. I think we won the turnover battle 2-0. So we're currently at -5 still for the season, okay? The Dolphins, like I said, the Dolphins are doing great in turnover differential, okay? 15 interceptions. I don't even know how many fumbles they have, but they're, I think, second in the league. Again, only behind the Bears in turnover differential. So we need to be able to not turn the ball over. We see on defense how many yards they allow per game. 398 yards per game. As the Tampa Bay Lightning are up 5-4. I just heard it in my ear. So Tampa Bay up 5-4 on the Buffalo Sabres. If you're a Sabres fan, you know what we got right on this game. 10-game winning streak right now. Let's see what happens. I do hear another goal just happened. Or is that the Tampa Bay goal? No, that's the 5-4 goal. Okay, sorry about that. So we know that this Miami defense gives up a lot of yards, 398 total. So we need to be able to take advantage of that. We know that they give up a lot of rushing yards, almost 140 yards per game. McCoy, you need to step up. You need to step up. I get you're 30 years old. I get that. That's the point where a lot of backs start declining. But you need to step up. Stop juking in the backfield. If you have a lane, go for it. North to south. North to south, north to south. One of the first things I taught my wife about the NFL, about football, you need to go north to south because she heard me yell it a lot. Okay? Beat Chris Ivory. Bam, 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 bam. Just beat him down the middle. Okay? Josh Allen's going to be able to create with his legs too. I'm sure they're going to have a spy on Chris Ivory. Maybe an old buddy in Kiko Alonso. Maybe he won't knock Allen out like he did Joe Flacco a few years back. Maybe we'll get lucky. But we need to be able to run the ball. That's going to be our second key to victory, okay? Our second key to victory after the turnovers, we need to be able to run the ball. Establish the run. Even if we have to do what we did last week by establishing the pass to establish the run, we need to be able to do that, man. And women, whoever's out there, I'm sorry. I don't mean to try. I don't want to discriminate against anybody. You can watch me no matter who you are. No matter who you are, you can be watching this, I promise. I love you. I thank you for watching. So, but, yeah, we need to be able to establish the run and get McCoy going and hopefully get him another touchdown or 2 on the season. My third key to victory, penalties. Guys, we currently have 87 penalties this season. That's roughly 8 a game, pretty much exactly 8 a game for 752 yards. The Dolphins, 71 penalties, which is only 6.4 for 629 yards per game. So we're getting about 130 more yards and penalties, not in a game, but so far this season. And that just won't get the job done. 8 penalties a game just won't get the job done. You want to be at that 6 number. There's been games we've done great and we've only had 3-4 penalties in the game. And those are the games we won, right? Minnesota, Tennessee. Those are 2 of the games we won. Last week and the Jets, we didn't have that many penalties. Last week, I don't know what happened, but luckily both teams had a lot of penalties. And that gave us a chance to win the game because, man, we had a lot of penalties last week. I think it was 11 accepted penalties too. I mean, there were more on the field that were declined. I mean, we need to be able to do a better job with the penalties and do a better job on those third downs, getting off the field. Man, there was one I remember specifically where I'm at 3rd and 13. Jackson last week, I'm at 3rd and 13, 5-yard defensive holding gets him a first down. Automatic first down. I don't like the fact that defensive holding gets you an automatic first down, but the rules are the rules. Okay? We need to be able to do better than that. And then you talk about the 12 men on the punt return. Really? 12 men on a punt return, give Jacksonville another first down? You can't do that against good offenses. Not saying Miami has the best offense in the world, but they have a better offense than Jacksonville. They have a better quarterback than Blake Bortles. They have a decent run game with Drake and Gore, even though Drake, I know he's nursing an injury. But Gore, just the ageless wonder. We know he has that up and down capabilities to still beat you. He has a game where he had over 100 yards rushing this season still too. So we need to be able to get off the field and not let penalties beat us, because this Miami Dolphins team is better than Jacksonville Jaguars on offense. Okay. I still think I think Tannehill is underrated just due to the injuries they had. I think he's an above average quarterback. I'm not gonna say he's great. I'm not even gonna say he's good. I'm gonna say he's above average. I think he's above like your Andy Daltons, right? Think people like that. But unfortunately, due to injuries over the past few years, we haven't been able to see it. I don't want to see it this game either. We need to be able to get pressure on Tannehill. We need to be able, we talk about Jerry Hughes. Jerry Hughes, I think, is 4th in the league in QB pressures this season. 4th. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Get some sacks this game. If we pressure Tannehill, it might force turnovers. If we can force turnovers, we always have a shot to win this game. Limit the penalties, win the turnover battle. You'll always have a chance to win the game. Always. You might not win all of them, but you'll be down 3 with 2 minutes to go. You'll be down a touchdown in the 4th quarter. You'll have a chance. Did Shaq Lawson get suspended? Hey, Myth, how you doing? Welcome to Leaves Talk again. Thanks for joining me. Shaq Lawson, we have not heard anything of a suspension. If we would have heard of a suspension for this week's game, it would have already came down. I believe the reason why Shaq Lawson was not suspended, Leonard Fournette was not even in the play for the play where he came into the game and started throwing fists. He's the first one to start throwing fists in that situation. He shouldn't have been on the field. Carlos Hyde was actually the running back in on that play. And Fournette put his helmet on, came running from the sideline, and then started throwing punches at Shaq Lawson. So that is why I believe Leonard Fournette did get suspended for this game coming up this week. And that's why I believe that Shaq Lawson will not. So, we can't give this game away. I agree. I think this is a winnable game for the Bills. I really do. I think on paper the Dolphins, again, have more talent than we do. I really do. But I think this is a winnable game. And, we come off, so the past 4 contests against the Dolphins have been decided by 1 score or less, right? Last year we swept them, but we beat them by 8 points in both games. So that's less than one score or less. And last year, for some odd reason, both times against the Dolphins, we were up 8 points. We can't recover an onside kick, right? I don't know what it was about onside kicks, but it's good to see against Jacksonville we were able to get an onside kick, right? We don't have too many practice with onside kicks so far this year, so it was nice to see against Jacksonville we were able to recover. Zay Jones is able to get his arms around it and get down. So, did I talk about Colton Schmidt getting released? Yes, I did. Colton Schmidt was released. I did talk about that because Monday I actually talked about how I thought he improved on Sunday. Well, apparently not everyone agreed with me, right? Apparently not everyone agreed with me, but we will have a new punter in this Sunday. Be our 3rd punter of the season after Jorges went out. earlier this year for Colton Schmidt. Colton Schmidt's been in for, I think, 3 or 4 games now. He has been released now, and now it's coming on to this new guy, first time playing in the NFL. Hopefully he does well. We'll evaluate him just like we evaluate everyone else. I was very disappointed with parts of our special teams last week, and I've been disappointed. I've been disappointed for most of the season with our special teams, but I do think Isaiah McKenzie has done better in the return game at least. So that's been something that I've been really happy about with Isaiah McKenzie. Hopefully we get to keep Isaiah McKenzie. He's, again, adding a little bit of a flash, a little bit of a light to this Buffalo Bills team. Had that touchdown last week, his first of his career, so very happy about that. But yeah, Mitch, you're coming on at the end. I'll stay on for a little bit, though. The game, like I said, 8 minutes to go. Saints did score a field goal, make it 13-3. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter here. But yeah, I talked about Miami Dolphins. I talked about how they're bad. They're poor defense. However, the poor defense is masked by the fact that the defense is able to get turnovers. So you do have that going on. So that's something that the Bills cannot afford to have happen. We did not have any turnovers last week against Jacksonville. That needs to continue. Josh Allen needs to make smart decisions because Xavier Howard, cornerback from Miami, has 5 interceptions this season. He's actually tied with Matt Milano with 6 turnovers for one individual. So we need to be able to know when it's a smart decision to pass the ball. And he needs to know when it's a smart decision to tuck and run. Needs to learn how to slide a little bit better, still having that issue. And that you're not going to be able to jump over everybody like you did against Minnesota. And now you're probably going to start getting spies. You're still going to start getting Kiko Alonso probably spying you this game. You cannot... You can't forget about him. You have to be able to hold on to that ball. Don't fumble it. Don't fumble it when you take off. Make sure you know when to pass it, when it's a good pass, because Xavier Howard can be there as well. So that's a command from the stream I watched to see how long the stream has been going on. Oh, it's been going on now for almost half an hour, which is pretty much about my max for these Thursday night streams. My 3 keys to victory. Number one was the turnover battle. We need to be able to win that turnover battle again. Miami is actually one of the best in the league. I believe they're 2nd overall in turnover differential. They've had 15 interceptions already this season. The Bills have actually only had 8. So big difference there as far as interceptions is concerned. My second key to victory was running the ball. We need to be able, the Miami Dolphins defense actually allows 139 rushing yards a game, almost 140 rushing yards a game. That's 29th in the league. 29th in the league. We need to be able to take advantage of that. And then my third key to victory, I forget what penalties. Third key to victory was penalties. We're averaging 8 penalties a game. They're actually only averaging 6. So we need, and we're out. We have more yards than 130 more yards and penalties so far this season. So we need to be able to reduce that number. Last week, the running game did kill us, but Leonard Fournette is a different animal than Frank Gore, the ageless wonder. So I think we'll do a little bit better job this week. Normally, our run game has been pretty good. Again, you take away that Indianapolis Colts game, you take away the game last week. Our run defense has actually been pretty good. So I'm not worried about that this week. Again, Leonard Fournette is a different animal. So hopefully, and you look at that second half of that game, did a lot better. And that's with Leonard Fournette and with Leonard Fournette out. We did a lot better in that game. It was basically the midway through the second quarter where we just got burned almost every single play for what seemed like 7, 8, 9 yards. So that obviously cannot happen. But I don't think that's going to happen in this game. I think we're going to make Tannehill beat us. But you could have said the same thing last week with Bortles. So, but again, Tannehill's a little bit better of a quarterback than Blake Bortles. So, what's going to happen, we don't know, but this is definitely a winnable game for the Buffalo Bills. I, again, want to thank everyone who joined me on Believers Talk. My name is Joe. You want to be here this Sunday. I'll get on here around 12:30 to give you guys a breakdown of how I see the game going. I'll give you my score prediction. Oh yeah, no, the crowd got into the game. The crowd was in the game almost the whole game. I mean, that first half, I didn't sit down at all. We didn't sit down one time. I was actually surprised. And then the second half started off a little slow. But yeah, when Lambeau missed that kick, that brawl broke out. The place went nuts, and it stayed going nuts the rest of the game. So it was cool to see. But that's it for me in this episode. I gave you a quick preview what we need to do against the Miami Dolphins to get that 3rd win in a row. Looking pretty good. Again, it feels a lot better winning these games. We swept Miami last year. Let's see if we can start by doing the same thing this year. Let's see if we can sweep sweep them again. It's always good to squish the fish, baby. Again, I feel like the Miami Dolphins are our biggest rival. I've always felt that way ever since the Dan Marino, Jim Kelly days. I look forward to this game Sunday. I hope you do too. I'll be here giving you live play-by-play and reaction, so be sure to join my Believers Talk. We go live Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. You don't want to miss it here, baby. We have you covered every step of the way. So thank you for watching Believers Talk. Again, my name is Joe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment. We always love a comment back. So thank you for everything you guys have done to make this channel a success. We'll see you soon, but till then, go Bills.